I can only be creative with palm trees and sunshine. That's how it works for me.
Hey, think about your favorite designer, like your design idol that you know all of his or her works. You follow that everything he does, you have his books, you watched all his videos again and again, and then you have even his t-shirt or everything. For me, this designer is Daniel Simon. Around 10 years ago, I saw his first book, Cosmic Motors, and of course I bought it and I was just amazed. I was like, how? Like, how is it possible someone thought about this? Like, how did someone do it? Then I learned more and more about him. Then he did some movie designs like Tron, Oblivion, Captain America, like super creative things he designed, and I was just amazed. And 6 years ago in 2015, I wrote him an email. Back then I was a product design student in Turkey and I was not sure if he will answer or not, but I went to his website, I just sent an email. I told him I'm a big fan and I would really love to hear his feedback on my portfolio. And back then my portfolio was horrible, really. I mean, I was not proud of my portfolio, but I just wanted to send because I just wanted to hear from him, you know, I just wanted to be connected to Daniel Simon. I was hopeful, but I was also not expecting an answer that soon. He answered in the same day, in a couple hours, I got an answer from him. And it was super inspiring because he was honest. He was telling me the bad parts of my portfolio, but also he told me that how to improve these things. He said there are enough good car designers out there and we need people with new ideas and fresh approach. And you can be the next one. And after I read this, I was like, wow. I just printed this email, I just put it on my wall, I was like reading this email. And since then, I'm just always trying to find this new approach, these fresh ideas whenever I start a new project. Rather than making the next car or the next product or next whatever, I'm focused on something more innovative and something new. And during years, I was still collecting things from him, from his designs, like these two little cars here, not cars, these two little designs. This one is Roborace. I will also come to this point that how I talk with Daniel Simon like last week on the live event. And this is another design from him, the Tron bike, iconic design. And I also have both of his books. I also have a t-shirt which is printed with his design from Cosmic Motors. It's super cool. And 3 years ago in 2018, when I was a car designer in Intel Design, I decided to make a free time project. You know, Roborace is a super innovative thing, like super exciting. And Daniel Simon designed the car. Let me show you again, like he designed this car. It's still amazing, it's still super fresh, it's really cool. And I decided to make a design about it. Okay, this is future of racing, but it's happening still now. Like they produced a prototype, it goes, it's happening, we have it. So I was thinking, what can be the next step? Rather than making the next robo car, I decided to go with something like drone. And to make it different than today's drones, I decided to use Dyson's bladeless fan technology. So I thought it would be like a cool approach for the Roborace to use drones, a little bit smaller than the cars and like a whole new experience. Anyway, a couple months ago I got a message from Jacek. Jacek is a super cool guy, he's at Roborace, and he said there will be some events. They saw my Roborace project and also some other designers, some other design students, everyone who has passion about Roborace, and Daniel Simon actually. He told me there will be some events that they will do little interviews, and also we might even have a chance to talk with Daniel Simon. And I was like, wow, that's just crazy. And last week this happened, and I need to tell you, it's really amazing experience. Like the designer you know for years, like you follow everything he does, you know everything about him. He's there live, I mean on the camera of course, in today's world everything is going live online. We were able to talk with him, it was really inspiring, so I just wanted to share with you guys. Now I will show you my part of the event with him, and I will show you his comments on my design and general words, let's say, which are super inspiring and motivating. And I want to say thank you to Jacek and everyone on Roborace team who made it possible, and thank you Daniel for spending time with us. He's supposed to spend only 15 minutes, but he spent around 1 hour, so he's super cool. And if you want to watch the full video of this event and upcoming events, I'll put the link of Roborace YouTube channel in the description so you can go check it out. Hi.
That's fine. Hello, Burke. How are you? How are you, sir?
Hi, I'm very fine. Thanks. How are you?
Star Wars. Yeah, you have your Star Wars flying ball to test your laser saber in front of you. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's here.
Well,
I also have Tron bike here. I also have your vehicle here.
Oh my
Burke,
God.
I even have
Daniel's
friends. I think we're Instagram
I wouldn't
friends.
say friends. I wouldn't say friends. I wish. Of course, I'm a big fan of yours, but sometimes you answer me. Yeah, it makes my day. That's amazing to be live here with you. Like I want to tell, in 2015, I sent you an email. I was on your website, just found this contact me box, and I wrote you about my portfolio. Like it was 6 years ago. I was just a student, and you gave me good feedback on my portfolio. And then you told me like there's lots of good designers. We need someone with a new idea. We need someone like with a fresh mind. That's why also on this project I decided to not make a car, but something more like a flying vacuum cleaner with the Dyson fans. So
Do we have a structure to this? Are we critiquing and then choosing? I'm totally
Yeah,
put on
go
the spot
like
here.
you go wild, Daniel. You can go wild. Do whatever you want.
Well,
Yeah.
as I maybe Burke, as I mentioned with Alan, it's maybe easier also to keep a bit more, broader for everybody to feel addressed. But at the same time, look, your images just went away. Can somebody bring them back up to me?
also keep in mind it's from 3 years ago.
Which means you're on a parabolic design curve, which is great. Yes. So, well, I love, as you said, I love you went another route with cars. It's then with cars, it's a daily challenge, right, in our job too. How can we be different and make an impact, but not be different for different sake? Because that just creates nonsense, right? So practically picking because if we go online, we find so much amazing artwork, but how is this applicable to something? That's and I'm an admirer of art, but I'm working for Roborace, and an arrival in my daily job here is to create value for the company and create products that at some point also create revenue. That's what we're all here for, and not just have fun all the time. So bridging this gap is so extraordinarily difficult. But generally talking to your design, the quality of work is fantastic. How did you model this?
Back in time, it was Alias. I was using Alias. I was a designer in Ital Design, actually. While doing this, it was like a weekend project. Yeah, and now I would do it on Blender, actually. I also saw you are using Blender a couple months ago. You shared something.
Yeah, for 2 days, and then I went back to my job. It becomes increasingly difficult in your career to keep up with technology, with technology advances, and that's a challenge for your career. Whereas if you're in your 20s and you're just starting your path, you practically can still choose your tools. And in my time, about 20 years ago, this toolkit would not revolve. I would just choose whatever everybody used for 10 years. That was a good way to go. If you're young today, you have all these options and new tools come up every day, and it can be almost overwhelming. And for folks like me, I'm 45 now, it becomes a true challenge to divide your day up into your obligations and into staying with the flow. Because otherwise you become an obsolete dinosaur at some point, right? You cannot just keep praying your old ideas from 20 years ago. And you become maybe a family person. You have to watch for your family. You cannot just stay up till 1 o'clock every night, keep pushing like you did in your 20s. And you become a manager, even if you don't wear a managing hat in your business, but everything you do in life becomes a negotiation. Versus me, when I did Cosmic Motors, an example, I didn't report to anybody. I just did fun stuff I wanted to do and didn't care about anything. And working with Roborace, for example, is a negotiation. If we want to make and is that okay? Like, I mean, I'm looking at your work and I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, I try to paint a broader picture maybe of where I am. So it's such a stark contrast between designing something for an Instagram post or for my Cosmic Motors world than doing it for Roborace, even if it gets compared, but it's couldn't be more different. Cost comes into play. Like it's working with engineers. We approach actually Roborace in an unusual way that we designed the car first and engineers then had to battle how to put the mechanics inside, which was kind of a fake paradise illusion. Now in the next, and we are paying the price right now. Robocar is very hard to maintenance. This one in the middle here, it's very high manufacturing cost, but it did a job and it set it was like a megaphone. So I think the purpose of this project was being a megaphone and a ambassador for a brand that didn't exist back then. As a competition vehicle, it's too expensive. So we're designing a new vehicle right now that is hopefully as inspiring, but we're talking to our people who literally work on the cars, right? How hard is it to lean over and get certain elements out? The cooling is very challenging on this vehicle. So how can we improve cooling? And just cooling is a great example. Just getting from an engineer a frontal area surface for your cooling and combining this with your Hollywood sci-fi aspirations, that's when the rubber hits the road. Doing fantasy stuff for my own fun there's no limits. If I want a cooling intake to be this small and put it up there, I just come up with a fun story and explain what a cool cooling system this has. If our engineering team says, no, it has to have this size, no matter what you want to do, and you have to wrap your creativity around those parameters, I think this is, when true talent shows. And I struggle with this. I struggle every day. I run out of ideas, and that's what we have teams for, right? It's a back and forth, and now I'm getting a bit philosophical, but in your career, then it's also important to be sure of your weaknesses and find people around you that have those opposing strengths and build a team that as a unit is bigger than, it's, 1 + 1 is 3 kind of theory. So very poetic excursion here. Back to your design. You putting martini livery on it, you're getting my thumbs up. I'm an easy man.
I knew it. I knew it.
Yes, that works. There's great direction in it. I love directions, so you can kind of tell apart the front and back. I grew up in Audi TT times. This was a big milestone in design back then, but I think over time it suffers a little bit by being not clearly in direction. So there's something to that. I love floating surfaces, high contrast. If we had given you our cooler Roborace logo, it would look even better. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's no. Since you're pulling a Red Bull livery on here, Red Bull does really good liveries, I think, and you could probably up your game there on the Robo.
If I knew one day you will comment on this design, it would be all different. It was just
I know it's hard to be, but this is another thing that happens in your career, right? You will be judged by most of your moves as unprepared as they are, and that loops back maybe to an advice I gave earlier when it's about how to get to a point in your career where you want to be. Is literally be prepared at any time, and the hardest choice to make is to not apologize for anything. I do this a lot myself, and I have to always be careful, like, oh, I only had so much time, or I wish I had known this. And this is a very natural behavior, and I have to train myself. It's important to give people context, like, I did this in 2 hours, okay? I didn't do this it didn't take me 5 years. The broader picture, but a certain confidence, generally speaking, is also pretty good. And maybe another thing that comes to my mind, since you say it's 2 years old, this is to me a good catalyst of finding a timeless design. My design language that I suggest for Roborace or other projects is arguably not the most advanced at any given day. But to me, it's like haute couture, right? I'm not willing to design something for the summer 2021 season and be super provocative just to know that it may fall off the taste radar 3 months later. So if I have the luxury, I actually work on projects over a longer stint. I push for 2 months if the luxury is there. I push for 2 months and let it sit 2 or 3 months, and come back as a new person, because we change so much, we read so much, the internet is changing our opinions every day. Come back to it 2 months later and think, if this is still, if I still feel good about it, there's something there. If it's like, this looks like 2 months old now, or done by a me from the past, I don't feel comfortable with it. And I think, to me, this is a good trick to find timelessness, which every brand makes different decisions, right? There's very brands that look for this 5 minute of fame situation. I believe in timelessness, and the impact I think that Robocar did for us is undeniable. And for us, it's hard also to choose if we see, let's say, people being inspired by our Robocar. It's on one hand a compliment, because it means we set somewhat a taste profile. But on the other hand, I think, oh, come on, everybody, there is 10 million other ways you can do a autonomous car, Come on, show it to us. And that's so exciting to working with this company. So thank you for being part of this. Jacek, if you, of course, this goes into metaverse. Are you kidding me? I don't know how this is gonna work with your whole, well, you tell me how much bandwidth we have. But from where are you calling
metaverse.
us?
Excuse me?
Burke, from where are you calling us?
Currently, I'm in Poland, but when I sent you my email, I was in Turkey. I'm from Turkey. Then I went to Italy to do my master's on car design, and then I worked in Ital design for 1.5 years. Then I went to Design Storz in Austria. Probably you know Storz. And
yes,
then
Achim,
I came
right?
to Poland. Exactly, Achim. We were talking with him also about you. It was great inspiration. And currently, I'm just doing my freelance projects. I came to Poland because my girlfriend is from Poland, and I decided to be my own independent designer, like be my own boss. And now I do some online courses for other people. And I have my freelance projects, like a little wood boat project, electric scooter project, and some robot project, actually, for a warehouse in Turkey for a startup company. So I'm having my own projects at the moment for different clients.
Very cool.
Fantastic.
All right, so
Jacek, I have a 9:45. So if we could, can we still look at? Is it Frexa?
Yeah, Frexa. Let's go to Frexa.
Frexa.
Thank you, Burke.
Hey, Burke.
You were amazing.
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. See you on Instagram. Bye.
That's right.
Did you hear that he said we are Instagram friends? I mean, Daniel Simon said this. He recognized me. I mean, he remembered me. Guys, that shows also the power of this online thing, the social media things. That's what's happening right now, that we are able to talk to each other. Like, you can connect to anyone almost. I mean, they are super busy people. I mean, I was super lucky, but there are endless possibilities. So just put your work out there, just connect people, just contact people. It was an amazing experience for me. Thank you for watching, and see you on the next video.